Alright guys, welcome back to another reaction video. We are going to react to Ref Says Desu. Ubisoft is officially cooked. Hold up! Before you continue with the video, please consider subscribing to this channel and liking the video. Every little bit of support is appreciated. Now, let's enjoy the reaction, shall we? I don't know what they did again, but we'll probably see. Also, funny announcement. Concord has officially announced end of service 9 days after release. I guess go woke, go broke, get broke. I don't know how the saying goes. It's insane that after 9 days, not only that they're gonna refund everyone. That is insane. They're gonna refund every single person that bought this game. Anyways, guys, let's get into the video.
Hey, what's up guys, Rev here. So I think it's safe to say at this point that Ubisoft is completely cooked. Ironically, this is a year that has started off where Ubisoft said players should get comfortable not owning games.
A wise man once said, what was it? If buying isn't owning, pirating isn't stealing. In this case, pirate all your Ubisoft games. Just do it. You know, if I buy something and it's not mine, well, guess I can pirate it. Because, you know, owning isn't... If I don't buy it, I don't own it. Guess Ubisoft themselves also don't own it.
Well, they need to get comfortable with nobody owning their
I fucking
games
hate
because
this.
people aren't interested in the slop they are bringing forward. 2024 has been a very rough year for Ubisoft. They have gone all...
I mean, Prince of Persia was pretty good. I still prefer the Warrior Within trilogy, but Prince of Persia was pretty good. I don't know if that even released this year. Could have been last year, I don't know. But that was okay. That was solid.
All in on two major AAA releases, and that is, of course, Star Wars Outlaws and also Assassin's Creed Shadows, that they enjoy.
AAA release. Calling Outlaws a AAA release is criminal. That is absolutely criminal. That is a horrendous release.
Assured will succeed to their shareholders because
clearly
they are very well praised by players. Now, let's start with Star Wars Outlaws because this game has now officially released. This game has been doomed since the start. The buggy and just generally laughable game.
Almost 100k dislikes. Almost 100k dislikes. That is insane. It has a 10th. Literally a 10th. Again, a 10th of the views as dislikes. Over a 10th, in fact. Dear God.
Gameplay has been mocked ever since the initial reveals were made, and on top of that, to generate some goodwill and hype that was completely non-existent, Ubisoft got caught trying to butter up YouTubers with lavish trips with the probably intended hope that they will leave.
They tried to buy YouTubers, that is insane.
Positive Star Wars reviews.
Oh.
On top of that, when that failed, games journalists came in and basically were doing...
How is that a 7? You know, Wukong is an 8. That is a 7. How is that a 7? That is nowhere near the level of Wukong.
The splits on this game for weeks on end, trying to hype it up. Even IGN here giving it a very solid 7
IGN.
score, despite all the evidence that suggests
Just
otherwise
fuck
in
IGN.
terms of the quality of this game. But the problems didn't even end before the official release. In the early access some players had, there...
Let me read that. Ubisoft asked a bunch of Star Wars Outlaws PS5 players to install an update and restart the save file from scratch due to game-breaking bugs. If you continue on a private save, you will unfortunately face issues and progression blockers. Players paid $110+ for early access. You know what? Which time I miss? The time the PS3 time. Because If there were bugs, they were fixed. But the developer still made sure that most games released as bug-free as possible. Nowadays they release buggy games and a huge day one patch. Remember Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl? They released half of the game on the cartridge, and the other half of that game you had to get via a day one patch. So the base game was playable, but you couldn't access the post game until you had that what was it? Until you had that day one patch. Which means that the moment the Switch servers go down, base Pokemon Platinum and Diamond for the DS are the superior games. Let that sink in. Not only that, the soundtrack was also missing. They had those shitty MIDI replacements as a soundtrack. That's how far we have come.
There was some
That's
major
how far
issues that they had to
has
address
gotten.
on release. So as reported here,
We
Ubisoft
should
has asked a bunch
reject
of
the
Star Wars
idea of
Outlaws
playing
PS5
unfinished
players
games
to install an update and restart their save files from scratch due to game-breaking
from
bugs.
scratch.
So yes,
Dear God.
this is
Imagine
a
you played the
very
entire
bad
game,
look for Ubisoft.
then you had to start
These
over
players
again.
paid a premium for 3 days early access. They either paid the extra $40 for
Imagine
the gold
someone-
edition that had this early access, or they paid for the ultimate edition that's even more.
There's some
money.
weird
A
mortal out there,
quadruple
some
A
peasant
type price right here
that has
But
bought
these
the
players
ultimate
paid
edition.
an extra premium for 3 days early access, and upon release, the only way they could actually play is to wipe all of their progress up until that point. They are literally wiping away
Think about
what
that.
they paid an extra premium for. That is crazy. So what did Ubisoft do to remedy this very bad situation? Well, they said, here's a trinket. Here's an in-game trinket. Be happy. Yes, you paid an extra $40, and we wiped that entire benefit you got, but have an in-game trinket.
Dear
I
God.
would pay anything to be a fly on the wall in the room where the person...
You know, instead of the trinket, refund them the additional amount that the ultimate and the gold edition costed. So I think the base game cost 70. Is that? Let me go back. Is that correct? 70, right? Base game cost 70. Okay, people that bought the gold edition or the ultimate edition. Let them get back $40, and for this one it's what? 60? No, wait. 30 away, 30. Yeah, $60. That would have been a much better deal. That would have been
Yes, you paid
a
an
much
extra
better
$40,
deal. That
and
would
we
have
wiped
been
that
been a good
entire
deal.
benefit you got, but have an in-game trinket.
That would have been
anything
better,
to be a fly
like
on the
way
wall in the
better.
room where the person wrote up this statement, basically like, were they sitting there like in fear and anxiety because they knew this is a major mess up, or were they sitting there like smug, like, ha, yeah, we'll just give them a trinket. Yeah, thanks for the $40 extra.
Imagine.
Idiot. Here's a little trinket that cost us nothing. It's so ridiculous, but eventually we get to the release on the 30th.
God. Ugh.
And all the moves done by Ubisoft, the buttering up of the YouTubers and the reviewers, and the attempts by games journalists to hype this game up, it doesn't matter once you get to the actual release. How is it going to look? You can't hide anymore once it is available to everyone.
It
And
looks
the
mad
results
ugly. That's
are
the first
terrible.
issue. It looks really
So
ugly.
you can see right in the own announcement post, the majority of the comments are making fun of this game on release.
True. Like, if you want to play this game, if you are a Star Wars fan, you really want to play this game, just wait a bit. Just wait a bit. You know, look at Ubisoft, and then look at their games. The newer games are all, like, games like, what is it called? That pirate game. Not Assassin's Creed Black Flag, but the game that is based on that. No, not Sea of Thieves. What was it? I don't remember. That game is on sale. That's a new game and it's on sale. And look at other like Assassin's Creed. Like Assassin's Creed Mirage is on sale. That game isn't that old. But funny enough, it wasn't even that bad. It was classic Assassin's Creed. A few like misses here and there, you know. It's it doesn't work. It's like the new engine with like the old playstyle. It doesn't play that well. They probably should have used like the old playstyle of like Assassin's Creed Black Flag and then based it around that. Yeah, and games like Assassin's Black Flag are full price. Isn't that funny?
Please. Basically, people saying they will
Ignore the birds.
wait. Even if they
The birds
want
are
to
going
play,
crazy.
they're going to wait until this is discounted
Imagine
in
that.
the bargain bin. And also, I have seen some reports that some of these vendors are actually applying discounts already to this game only a few days after official release. But on top of that, their official
Ubisoft
launch
disabled
gameplay
dislikes
trailer
and comments in the
has
Star
had
Wars
the
Outlaws
comments
YouTube
turned
video.
off
Of
and
course.
the dislike bar turned off, which, by the way, only people with an extension can even see dislikes anymore. But they also appear to have unlisted this video because people were roasting them that hard. But again, the proof is
Asmongold
here.
finds a
You can actually
magic
play and
bush in
share
Star Wars
some of the
Outlaw.
buggy and terrible gameplay in this
Yo,
clip right here from
Asmongold.
Asmongold has been making the rounds.
I should probably like this
discovered
video.
a magical bush in the game that pretty much makes you the most elusive person in the entire universe.
We're pinned down.
What the hell? What the hell? What? Well, he's clearly seeing her. He's clearly seeing her. He's clearly seeing her, but he's not like. Also, these dudes remind me of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, like the "Don't Forget Me" guys. Yeah, those. He's clearly seeing her.
So obviously that clip's pretty funny, but that's just a small appetizer compared to everything going on with this
another
gameplay
ugly.
in terms
I've
of
seen
the
some
bugs
ugly
and what have
dialogue
you.
and like really
And if
cringe
you wanna
dialogue.
see
Oh no.
an extensive amount of the terrible buggy gameplay, check out this channel named Nick Tech, who has been releasing a
Based.
flurry of videos dunking on Star Wars Outlaws.
Based.
And in particular,
That's cool.
some of the previous or most recent videos
400?
contain just a compilation
400K?
of buggy and terrible
Cool.
gameplay. And it's
Deserved.
honestly just amazing. For a AAA
Show me that
considered
ugly-ass game,
quadruple
man.
A release like this to have these glaring and ridiculous issues
The downgrade of-
is quite unbelievable. And the audacity of Ubisoft to have
facial
this sort of
animations in
a
Ubisoft
price
games.
tag on their release is crazy.
Yeah,
So
the
let's
characters
check
also
out
look
just
so
a small
ugly.
sample from this video right here. I'll put a link to it in the description if you want to check out that full video, and also the other videos on this channel. You can go from there. But yeah, let's check out a small sample of what Star Wars
Show me.
Outlaws looks like.
Huh? What is that?
Get ready, Nix.
She is doing that with her bare hands. That will be so immersion breaking. Imagine punching a knight in full armor. Again, this would technically be considered a regular human in Star Wars. Imagine punching a knight in full metal armor. Stormtroopers are not squishy. If you punch them, you will probably break your hand. That is not some cheap armor, I assume. What the? Whoa, what the fuck? I mean, okay. Nice. Nice. Yeah, perfect. What? Look at that ugly water. Powered has prettier water. We have games like The Legend of Zelda on the Switch that has better water than this. What the hell is that?
Whoa.
Oh, And she can't go inside water? What is that? What is happening?
So yeah, does it shock
She
you right now
drowns.
that Ubisoft's stock is looking quite abysmal? I mean, it's
Wait, so
been
you can't swim either? Is that what I should take away from this? You cannot swim.
on the downtrend for a long time
Oh my
now.
god.
But
Yep.
look at what happened on the release of Star Wars Outlaws. Do you see what happened? Nothing.
Meow.
Nothing happened. That is actually crazy. A major AAA release, one of their only two this year, comes out,
Literally,
and their stock
like,
just stagnates. That's how little faith people have in Star Wars.
it didn't just stagnate. Like, coming up to the release, it dropped. Oh my god.
Outlaws, and also
It
Ubisoft
dropped.
as a consequence. And people have been coping already, okay? All the fanboys coming out saying
Best-selling
Star Wars Outlaws
games,
is the
beating
best-selling
games
game
like
in the
Wukong.
Epic Store,
In
beating
your
games like
dreams.
Wukong.
In your dreams. The only game that will beat Wukong on Steam is GTA 6. That will be the only game that will beat Wukong. That has a chance of beating Wukong. This will not never had
Most
the
people don't
chance to
even
beat
know that
Wukong.
the Epic Store is still open, but the reality is the forecast for this game is looking really, really grim. So it's important to note that Ubisoft
What is that face? What is that face? That looks like some from some SCP from the SCP Foundation. What is that? What is that face? This is what what is Chewie's race called? What is Chewie's race called? Let me look that up real quick. I don't even know what his race is called. A Wookiee, exactly, a Wookiee. This is what a Wookiee looks like after you shave its face. Literally. This looks so ugly. What is that face? What is that? They say that female characters have gotten more masculine, like video game characters. I could see like the jawline and like the double chin and stuff, but like I wouldn't even consider this masculine. What is this? Also, this literally just looks like a Wookiee.
Ubisoft originally targeted 718 million in bookings for the second quarter of this year.
Oh my god.
But the estimate has already been lowered by nearly 200 million. People are losing faith in this game, and also...
And you know what the stupid part about this is? This is not gonna hit the higher ups. This is not gonna hit the ones that worked were directing these games. This is gonna hit little Jimmy, who was programming on that game. Those are gonna be hit by layoffs. Like, for example, Concord. That game failed. Will shut down in September already. This is not gonna hit any higher ups at Sony. This is gonna hit the dev team. This is gonna hit small little programmers. That's the sad thing. The layoffs. The people that got punished, that actually get punished for this.
Ubisoft as a company. And also keep in mind, last year was a disaster for Ubisoft, where they saw a net loss of $550 million.
Dear God. $546 million. Oh my god. Imagine what a good company could do with that amount of money. Just think. Literally, just give that money to any smaller indie developer. Give that to the small indie developer that makes Coromon, Cassette Beasts, Heck, give that to developers who have made already other, like, there's this one mining indie game that's been really blowing up on Steam. Give that to them. They could use that way
Gone
more.
all in on these two games, and they are looking really, really bad for Ubisoft. And also, I think it's important to note that the timing.
I think Assassin's Creed Shadows will perform well because it's Assassin's Creed. That is the only reason it will. It may. I don't think it will. Well, I think it's gonna break even, but it's just gonna be mid. Like when it comes to success.
The Acolyte's cancellation couldn't have been worse. We're obviously dealing with different companies, Lucasfilms versus Ubisoft here.
The interesting part about this is, well, but this is gonna hit Disney regardless. This the other thing. Like Outlaws is gonna hit Disney, also Disney. The interesting thing about Acolyte is, or the Acolyte, I think it's called. That game, that show, people want a second season of that show. They've collected like 50,000 like for the petition, and I'm thinking like, where were those 50,000 people? If that show had 50,000 people watching it each time a new episode released, that show would have not been cancelled. We 100% know that those 50,000 people, the majority have not seen this show. We know that.
It's the same IP, and the IP is looking grim right now. It's a tough
Yeah, Star Wars
time for anyone
is
who's a fan of Star Wars or anything current.
Anything after, like, I consider the prequels canon. I consider the main trilogy canon, like 4 to 6, obviously. I consider Rebels canon. Rebels was good. I consider Clone Wars canon. Yeah. That's literally all. And like that is what I like. That's what I know of. That's what I consider like TV shows wise. I consider that canon. The rest, nah. I'm good. I'm good
with the franchise. And the fact that
I am
the Acolyte
absolutely
got
good.
canceled only a week and a half ago, it paints a very depressing picture for anything associated with the IP. And I do believe this probably had some impact on the perception of Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah, of course.
But that's not the only headache, as we know, for Ubisoft
Shadows.
this year.
Oh my
Their other
God.
major
That
release is Assassin's Creed Shadows, who also shares a lot of buggy gameplay in the previews. But on top of that, they are dealing with many different...
So, first of all, the dude that they got for, like, Japanese history lied. He edited his academic stuff on Wikipedia. He is now in hiding. Nobody knows where that man is. Yeah, of course. Bugs. Japanese politicians have looked at it. Japanese comedics have looked at it. Multiple Japanese, like, historians have looked at it. Not only that, they also took designs from One Piece, put them on a sword, and then shipped that to people. They plagiarized One Piece. Think about it. They have no idea what they're doing. This app. You know what? They always scream about cultural appropriation, right? That is, I would consider that a case. I think here could be a case. Like, it's definitely disrespect of the Japanese culture. That's for sure.
Different controversies and absolutely no goodwill from players right now across the globe.
Why would we?
The team over at Ubisoft
I love
has
Assassin's
managed to
Creed.
piss off everyone over
But
the
this is
past
not
couple
Assassin's
of months with this game right
Ever
here.
since Origins, this is just not Assassin's Creed. Where's this? Like, the stealth isn't that much of a major focus. Odyssey to me is not an Assassin's Creed. I think the last Assassin's Creed style game, and Mirage wasn't that bad actually. It wasn't that unsuccessful. I think Mirage is the current actual Assassin's Creed game. Not everything has to be a big open world RPG.
through the many different scandals and also the misinformation they've been trying to push, the fact that they started off as a game trying to promote itself as historically accurate earlier this year, with Yasuke being in the position of a samurai at the forefront of this game as one of the two main
A slave,
protagonists.
by the way.
And then
A
few
trophy.
months later, after people
trophy,
called out the misinformation,
apparently.
they then say, oh, wait a second, we were never trying to be historically accurate with this game or any Assassin's Creed
backpedaling.
games. And then, about a month after that, one of their leads comes out and says, oh yeah, we actually want to be as historically accurate as possible. They're flip-flopping, it looks cowardly, it looks inconsistent. At the end of the day,
that
people just
apology
aren't
and
buying it,
all,
and
which
all of these
essentially
reasons-
said just, yeah, we recognize the Japanese people that are angry, but fuck you. That is essentially what that apology was to the Japanese people.
and many more beyond what's on the screen right now have made
That's
gamers
what this essentially
very
was.
angry about Assassin's Creed Shadows, and really, it can't get any worse, right?
Yeah, it
well,
can.
It's looking pretty grim for this game. Okay,
Assassin's
it has been
Creed
reported
Shadows
through a rumor.
pre-order
It's not 100%
less than
confirmed,
800
but
from
there is a
national
rumor
chain.
that Assassin's Creed Shadows pre-orders
With over
less
900
than
stores.
800 from national chain with over
Rumor, by the way,
900
rumor.
stores. Yes, this is something that is shared by Stuttering Craig
Need
here,
that.
saying my insider
As of
told
this
me
morning, the
that as of this morning
nationwide
at their
big box
national-wide big box chain, Assassin's
my God.
Creed Shadows has less
That is
than
less than one pre-order
800
per
pre-orders
store.
combined
Yikes.
for
Whoa,
Xbox
that
and
hurts.
PS5 company-wide. They have over 900 stores. Yes, they have less than one pre-order per store. At that point, like, I am not an expert at owning a massive 900 store conglomerate like this, but I would imagine someone who's responsible in that position would look at these pre-orders and say, yeah, is it even worth stocking this? Because if we can't even sell one per store, what are we doing here? Why?
Imagine storing a game. By the way, that happened in similar fashion to The Last of Us 2, where the stores were full with Last of Us 2 copies, but no Ghost of Tsushima copies, because Ghost of Tsushima was sold out essentially, basically.
Why would we waste our
That
time
was a
and
really good game,
resources
man.
on this? And on top of that, people like Mark Kern, who are a veteran of the industry,
Hello,
are looking
Grums.
at this and acknowledging the obvious, right? Physical copies just aren't the thing anymore. Like, obviously, you're going to sell way more digital copies than physical copies, but they can be looked at as a gauge of how the digital copies will perform in comparison, because there's probably a reliable ratio. So, like, I'm making up numbers for the point of example here, but these companies probably know that for every, let's say, one physical pre-order, they probably get 10 digital. So they can look at the physical and say, well, we probably expect this many digital as a result. So the fact that we're seeing such a
I'd be
terrible
careful, though.
number
I'd be careful
for
with
these
that.
physical pre-orders, it really tells you that the digital sales probably are really bad too. I think that is a
I just
fair
want
thing
physical
to guess
games back.
based on the
Fully
information
finished
that we have
physical
seen. This
games.
is a nightmarish
That would be
scenario
amazing.
for
Fully
Ubisoft
finished
and
physical
Assassin's
games,
Creed
man.
Shadows. And on top of that, we just saw a
Really?
layoff round at
45
Ubisoft
employees.
only a month
GG.
ago. So things are going to keep getting worse for this company, and really with everything happening, especially with these two games, like, does anyone really feel sorry
sad.
for what's happening? But for now, that's going to do it for this video.
I don't feel sorry. I don't feel sorry for the company. I feel sorry for the people that worked on those games, the people that will lose their job, because some of them didn't have like the possibility to decide to not work on this. Like, if you need a job, you will take that job. That's just the way it is. I think that's what something Kisha said something similar to, like, along the lines of, they don't need you to comply with like Bridge and DI and all that stuff. If you need a job, if every company has it and you need a job, you will comply if you want to or not. This is the same situation. Like, all the big Western companies, they all, like, the gaming companies, they do that. And they're gonna force people to comply with that.
Devastating couple of weeks for
It's
Ubisoft
infuriating.
and Assassin's Creed Shadows, as well as Star Wars Outlaws. And we're going to have to see some more pertinent information about their sales. Hopefully, we get some more defined and refined numbers about those in the coming days and weeks. But for now, we're just going to have to work with what we got, and it doesn't look very good for Ubisoft. But that's going to do it for this video, as always. I appreciate you guys listening.
You know, guys, it's just sad that we should really just reclaim what they have stained. You understand what I'm saying? All the like big IPs, all the big shows, whatever. We should reclaim them. I don't know how we would do that. Well, we could force them, obviously, we could force them to comply with us, obviously. If we don't watch their shows, if we don't play their games, if we don't consume their products. But the majority of people are not gonna see this. They're gonna comply because they don't care. You know, consume and wait until next product and consume again. That's just the way it is. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.